Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 13, I believe. Um, Today I just kind of want to grab some quartz and some leather, hopefully. Get our enchantment table set up, um, as well as get some quartz and start prepping for a bigger house, stuff like that. Um, so we'll do that today, I think. Let's get some sugarcane while we're over here. Guess I could add some more sugarcane, but I feel like I'm getting enough this way, at least for now. Um, Anyways, there's some sugarcane. Should be enough blocks. Yeah, that'll work. Let's farm these crops really quick, actually. Um, oh, nice. Oh, leash. Oh wait, maybe I do. Hold on. Hold on. Nice. Let's take him. 1 second. Attach him to a fence so he doesn't go anywhere. Oh, there's another one too. Nice. Nice. Is there another one? There is. Okay, I'll just have to hope that guy doesn't go away. Anyways, back to the farming. I didn't realize they were gonna hatch. Anyways, put this up real quick. I need to make a better farm at some point. This one's just fine until we set up a better base, so just kind of dealing with it for now. I've been rewatching the Snyderverse, all the last one hatched too. The Man of Steel and all that, and I can't stand them. I don't know why I'm still watching them. They're so bad. And I've really tried. I've really um, been trying to be fair with them and everything, but I just can't. I just get so frustrated with them because I don't know. It's not. They're just not what I think of when I think of these characters. And I'm not anti-new interpretation, but I don't know, it's not like they're trying to be a new, they're, explain it. It's like they're trying not to be a new interpretation, but it's trying to say this is a better interpretation, I guess, if that makes sense. And I hate that, because I think the Snyderverse sucks, frankly. Um, I don't like it. I don't think it's better at all. Um, and I just get frustrated watching it. I especially hate the characterization of Superman, to be honest. I really, really dislike what they're doing with, or what they did with Superman in this universe. which sucks because I love Henry Cavill. I think he's a really good actor. But I can't stand this kind of dark, brooding Superman. Um, I just don't think it makes sense with his character. I don't know. I enjoyed Injustice Superman, but he's not like dark and brooding, you know. He's different. He's just not crazy, but he's broken, I guess, if that makes sense. Like the story of him, you know, with the fear toxin killing Lois Lane, it just kind of broke him, and I think that's a much more realistic interpretation of an evil Superman than that he's just dark and brooding, and that's just who he is. Because I don't really like that. I don't think it makes sense with his character at all. I just don't think it's accurate to who Clark Kent is. I don't think it's a good um the the kind of idea behind, you know, a dark version of a character is that it's a foil of the original character. And that's kind of what makes them interesting. But that's not the case with the Snyder Superman, because he's not a foil of Superman. He's just something else, and it's not something I particularly enjoy. I think it's way more interesting to kind of create a foil of Superman, because there is a lot of leeway with that, you know. There's a Superman special because he's got such a defined archetype, and it's, I don't want to say easy, but there's so many opportunities you can take with kind of undoing that archetype that people have done. It's not like there's not source material on this, but for whatever reason, Snyder just thinks, you know, this gritty, dark universe is what people want to see, and that's just not true. I mean, you know, it's got its fan base of um, people. People do like the Snyderverse. Um, it's just not. I'm not one of them, and I really don't see the appeal. To be honest, I never have. Um, I liked Man of Steel when it came out, and I still wouldn't say it's bad. Um, I might say it's bad. I don't know actually. Um, but I just, you know, people that are hating on the new Superman, because it's not, the Snyder movies are better, which is just, I mean, it's not true at all. I'm not saying the new Superman has oh Jesus. I'm not saying it's, you know, got a perfect movie. It's not. Oh God, I might die. Oh Jesus. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I think we're in a safer spot. I'm not saying, you know, the Snyderverse, or not the Snyderverse, the new, uh, the James Gunn universe, it's not perfect. There's, issues I have with his universe. for sure. But I really like the characterization more. I think it's more accurate to why people like Superman and why people need Superman. Um, like I don't know, just for me, you know, I'm from. Put these on so I stop getting attacked. I'm from Missouri. I'm from the eastern border of Missouri, so I really do kind of not cope. I don't know what I'm trying to. I relate to Superman in that way. You know, that was one of the things that I, as a kid, really loved is that I had a superhero um, who is from my area. Smallville is in Kansas, but it's on the western border of Kansas-ish. Um, and so I kind of had that superhero that um, understood kind of the Midwest and how I feel as a person that was raised in the Midwest better than other superheroes. Like you know, I still love Batman and Spider-Man and all these people, but they, you know, they have different upbringings, and I'm sure people from New York and places where these characters are not necessarily set in, but based on, um, you know, Gotham is kind of a it's kind of New York, kind of New Jersey, kind of, you know, all all these real places wrapped into one. Um, but I just really loved as a kid being able to um, say that Superman was kind of where I'm from. He's cornbread like me. Um, and that was really nice. That was really nice as a kid to be able to say that. I am gonna take some shroom lights actually, because they're pretty while I'm here. There's a ton. Okay, hold on. Sweet. Anyways, it was all that to say, I really do. I enjoy uh, James Gunn's interpretation of Superman way more than the Snyder interpretation. Um, and I get it's not for everybody. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say you have to enjoy one specific version of Superman or you're not a real fan, because that's not how it works. It's not, you know, I don't get to enjoy a specific one and then say, you know, you have to enjoy the one I enjoy. Because that's not what it's about. It's not. Um, but I don't think it's a genuine interpretation of Superman. I think it's more of a, you know, Zack Snyder self-inserting him in the story as Superman, if that makes sense. Um, which is fine. I'm actually more on the side of self-inserting is okay in stories. But I just don't think, when it's not genuine, I don't think it's very effective storytelling. Um, and I guess one of the perfect examples of that is um, James Gunn, is he's doing it faithfully. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, basically every movie and everything he's done since um, since he got fired from Disney is his story, is his experience. You know, Guardians 3, he is Rocket. I mean, that's I don't have to tell you guys. I mean, that's pretty apparent. He is the outcast that has to return and uh, kind of grapple with all the things that happen to him. Um, but it's the same with Peacemaker and Superman. It's not hard to see the similarities between the story and between his. Um, and it just feels more faithful because it's not. Um, he's not saying, "Oh, what would I do if I was the character?" He's just taking his life experience and adapting it to the character, if that makes sense. It's not about kind of what he did, it's about what the characters would do in the same situation. And I think that's pretty good storytelling. I think that's very powerful. Obviously, I mean, I don't have to say. I think everyone kind of agrees his last few um, projects have been very well received, and the kind of emotional aspects of them have hit well for people. Um, but I think that, you know, what kind of makes that special is that it is his experience. And that's kind of what makes it so powerful, is it's so human. Because, you know, there are good stories that can't happen in real life. Like an example I just watched recently, Arrival. It's not very realistic in terms of I don't know, like the plot structure, I guess, the kind of idea that aliens show up and they're actually interdimensional, temporal beings. That's not that can't happen. There's no way to kind of relate that to your own experience. But it's a great story, and I don't think that it has to be, you know, this kind of human quote unquote experience in order to be a good story. But I think on average, the more human a story is, the more likely it is to resonate with an audience. Because, you know, a lot of people just need people to say, "Hey, I've been there." You know, that's kind of the power of movies. Um, Obviously, you know, there's the imagination of it. There's the being able to sit and listen to Nicole Kidman do her little speech at an AMC every time, and then sit and just kind of forget everything and get lost for a little while. But I think truly one of the things that makes the going to the movies so powerful is that kind of relational experience that you can have with a truly great movie. And that's something I think James Gunn does very well. I think he's very good with making a movie matter to the audience. And that, I mean, that's been his track record with all of his movies. I think he's done extremely well with that. But I think Superman really resonated the most with young men like me. I guess would be the target audience. I think we really need. Oh Jesus. Um, I think he knows that young men need someone to look up to, and I I don't know. I think that I guess I don't know if I should consider myself a young man anymore. Um, but young men do need someone to look up to. Um, and if it's not a good role model, it will be somebody else. And I don't think that's great. I think that's a big concern. If there's not a good influence, it's not good. Um, oh Jesus, almost fell. Okay, it's not as much quartz as I thought I was going to be finding. Um, anyways, I think it's one of what makes Superman so powerful is its impact on kind of the generation that I'm a part of. The kind of hopeful storytelling that we really haven't seen a lot of since COVID, I guess. Really, was the last, or was kind of the breaking point with the genre. A lot of it now is just everything is sad and everything is out of place, um, which I don't have a problem with. I think, I think sad movies are very good, uh, but I really just think the power of a hopeful movie outweighs anything else. I think it's so needed right now. A movie that tells you it's going to be okay, flat out. Um, and I think that's something we've been missing as a society for a while now. Which kind of really started, at least in specifically comic books, because that's what I'm talking about. It started with the Injustice universe, and kind of the New 52, where things are a little darker. Um, which I don't have a problem with. I need to make that clear. I really liked the um, I really like the Injustice and New 52 comic lines. I think they're very well done. Um, and they're definitely better reinventions than Marvel has done, to be honest. I think the Ultimate Verse in Marvel is probably better than Injustice, but the New 52 I think is amazing, and I love the New 52 universe. I'm about to lose my pickaxe, so we'll see if I can get all this. And then I think I need to head back and make another. Um, anyways, I think it kind of started there, with this kind of, I don't want to say, um, hopeless storytelling, because it's not that, but, oh Jesus. Um, I do think, kind of the start of this dark and gritty storytelling was, I don't think that is the truth. It was started with those universes, and I just don't love it. I don't. I think there is, there's certainly a place for. See how to do that. Okay. There is a place for this storytelling. I just don't think the main universe is the right place, if that makes sense. Um, the kind of attraction of superhero movies and comics is hope. I mean, that's really what we're getting at with these. Um, that's what they've always been about. They've been stories to, tell the younger generation it's gonna be okay. Um, and I think that's just something we're missing out on now. Um, we just don't have many stories telling us it's gonna be okay. And I think that really is bleeding into kind of the modern nihilism. I don't know if it's nihilism, some sort of anarchism. I don't know, what the kind of general Gen Z populace has. Um, but there is an extreme kind of Nietzscheism. Jesus, please don't. Kind of experienced by the general populace now. And it's hard not to feel that way. Like it's, for example, when COVID when the pandemic started, I was a freshman in college, um, which is crazy to me now. That was almost 6 years ago. I guess it was. It was 2020, so it was 5 years ago. It's about to be six. Um, it's crazy. I went uh, to classes as normal that day. It was the Friday before spring break, and I got an email at the end of the day that uh, spring break was extended a couple weeks, or to be a couple weeks, due to kind of this new virus going around. Um, and we all knew what COVID was at that point. We'd been hearing about, since January, there's this thing going around that's kind of like the flu. Um, but I didn't go back to school until the next year. Like um, that spring break ended up, you know, by the time I got home, um, the entire world was shut down. Um, and that's just crazy to me. And I mean, like we threw a party because spring break got extended. We were so excited. And then the whole world shut down. There we go. There's a picnic break. And then the whole world shut down. And that was kind of like something I still haven't. I don't even know if process is the right word because I don't even know how you process it. But what the hell achievement is that? Getting a boat and float with a goat. Okay. I guess that's an achievement. I didn't even know there was goats in the game now. Anyways, I think it's just something I haven't even really kind of processed, to be honest. Um, I don't even know how to start, how you process that, to be honest. I don't know. My whole life kind of got turned upside down. Uh, on a random Friday, and I ended up not leaving the house after that for like a year. Um, Other than like some drive-throughs were still open, and stuff like that. But really everything was done at that point. I mean, there was just nothing open. And even from Missouri, there was nothing open, and that's how you know it was really bad. Um, and it's just crazy to me. Anyways, all that to say, I just think it's crazy, and I think it's really needed right now. These stories that are hope stories. I think it's something we've missed out on since COVID, and I think we're really struggling as a society. Because it's not like everybody enjoys this kind of movie and stuff, but the people who do enjoy it come away better off, and treat other people better, which in turn make other people feel better, and so on and so forth, and we get this kind of butterfly effect as a society. Um, and it's not exclusive to comic book movies. There are other movies that are hopeful. But I just think it's something we're really missing out on as a society, and I think we're kind of seeing a renaissance of it. I think, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four and Superman are really starting to kind of change the narrative on what movies people want to see. I think that was really the issue of why it stopped, is people just didn't want to see these movies. Over COVID specifically, I think. Obviously it's not like they just decided to stop making these. People just stopped wanting to watch them over COVID because we were all depressed. I shouldn't say we. I actually quite liked quarantine. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if you guys can relate to that at all. I actually really enjoyed the quarantine. I probably would still enjoy it now. I mean, I work from home anyways, so it's not like I'm, gonna be out of a job, and so that's kind of my uh, well, privilege with that, I guess, I think. But I would really enjoy another quarantine. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed. I mean, I'm extremely introverted. Um, if you can't tell, I'm very, very introverted, but um, I just really enjoyed the quarantine. I really, I really, really enjoyed it. Um, I need to fix that at some point. That's pretty ugly. Anyways, I did really enjoy the quarantine, and I think um, I was kind of in the minority there. I think a lot of extroverted people really hated the quarantine, and uh, they're totally valid for that. Like, I don't think um, I can totally understand how it would have been hell for some people. Um, I just really enjoyed it. So I think, kind of what led to the kind of collapse of the not franchise, the cinema world as we know it is people just stopped going to see these movies um, at all, and that's really the problem. These guys are all in the way. I can't put these carpets down. It's not nice. That one. Oops, I can't place it down now. I don't know why they're all crowding over here. I'm really confused why they're all in the corner. I should probably extend this. That's what I'll do in the next episode. I'll extend this base up a little bit. Um, that's real quick. Didn't get any leather, so I need to do that, and I need to extend this. But anyways, I really think um, COVID reshaped the collective mindset. I think we're kind of just starting to see a course correction on that. So I'm really excited to see where things go um, from here. I really am. I think there's a lot of opportunity to. Are they still alive? Yeah. There's a really good opportunity to kind of reshape what we um, need right now as a society, and um, I think step one of that is uh, sorry, let's check. Step one of that is um, these movies of hope that we have that we need more of. Truly, I think we're missing out um, on stories that make us feel like things are going to be okay. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with these movies. But I've got a lot of hope uh, about where things are going. So, anyways, that's my rant for the day. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching if you're still here. I appreciate it. See ya.